All right. Awesome, awesome. Adjust the details of this to make it not unlisted, please. Public. And we are streaming Mabinogi. Check if my audio is working. Check if my audio is working. And it is. Okay. What's up, everyone? Today, I would like to, along with my wonderful guild officers, Alex, Faye, and Lene, bring to you the Homestead Competition that we've been promoting for a little while now. And today, we are finally having our judging. So the way this is essentially going to work is we have a list of competitors. I don't know the exact number, but we are going to check out each person. Let me actually, prior to me continuing any further, go ahead and send this link out because that would be quite nice of me. Uno momento. Copy link. Let's go ahead and send this to everyone. All right. So, now that we're getting more people in, I'll restart that. My fault, my fault. So, essentially, how we're going to be doing this is myself and Alex Faye, who will be doing the judging. We'll go down the list of Homestead competitors that I have, list here. And essentially, we are going to be rating the Homestead as per our rubric. And if you aren't familiar with the rubric, long story short, it is available on our Google form, and I'll probably show it a little bit later, but the categories will be creativity and originality, theme and consistency, detail and effort, visual appeal, and use of space. And these categories have been made public, of course, to all of our competitors, so they are fully aware of what the categories are. And we hope that they thought of them in mind when they designed their homesteads, because that's what we will be rating them against. And these scores will go from 1 point to 2 point to 3 point on a fair, good to excellent standard, depending on how well we perceive them to have take advantage of these categories. And then we'll give them a total score. In the event that there is a tiebreaker, we potentially may use our second guild officer to make the determination. But we'll see when we get there, because I'm not anticipating there being any tiebreakers. But if there is, then we will have to get creative. But I think you'll enjoy what we end up doing regardless, or I hope you do. So, without further ado, please let me know in either the live chats or in our Discord if you are a member, if you are able to hear me properly, and if the stream is functioning. Before I continue and horribly embarrass myself by not having my stream function. Okay. I am getting some feedback that everyone can hear me properly. Volume is good. Okay, excellent. Now, the order in which I will be checking homesteads, I don't have any particular order. I, of course, have a list, and if for some strange reason you have gotten your homestead checked by either myself or Alex Faye, and you are not on the list, which I will read out now. Hopefully you are, if not online, you are in the stream. But the list I have by in-game username is Cavebat, Manasama, Nasumi Rain, Dreamwish, Seraphim, Bruce Dream, Ogre, Medusa, Star Cookie 3, Aloe Vera, Morrigan, Lina, Kimaya, Pax Seiko, T-Frog, Pionia, Bunny Kitty, Luette, Roy Mana, Losty Cakes, and Jumbo Shrimp. If I missed your in-game name, but you have had your homestead checked, simply at me in the Discord or give a message in the YouTube Live, and we will be sure to add you so that you can have your homestead checked, and you can get credit for having participated. But if everyone has felt that their homestead was checked, we will simply go down the list. But let me get some more housekeeping items out the way. Before we begin, just for stream purposes. All right. First things first is we will try, I guess I'll go top to bottom with Aloe Vera first. We will check their homesteads. I apologize in advance if the fidelity is not perfect. That military music is awesome. Okay. I remember seeing this homestead. My initial thoughts are that it is quite nice and thematic. I will be kind of seconding some of my guild officers who are watching the stream and also giving their opinions to me, so it's not just myself. One of the, I mean, this homestead is obviously quite nice, very well detailed. I really like small details like this little tiki bar. I really love it when there isn't too many things out of place from the theme. It really has this Philia desert sand vibe, which I really like. This is kind of like a little oasis. This just seems like a spot I'd love to chill in, like a party. Yes. The wisteria almost threw me off at first, but I understand the vision. I totally get it. It's like a resort, basically. Very nice. Even got a little hot tub here. If that is a hot tub, maybe just a bath. Very nice. Really like this section. Things that we're looking out for is, obviously, with a homestead like this, very high detail, right? We do not have to worry about that. Also, I am noticing the fidelity on my stream being so low when I'm moving around. I apologize for that. I'll try to adjust my camera a little less. Just because the bit rate, I guess I didn't adjust very well, but hopefully this catches up on stream properly. But one of the things that we are really trying to look out for is proper use of space, right? But, and let me pull up my rubric too, I can just see it on my other monitor. But also the theme consistency and use of space is the most important part. And this is an awesome homestead item. I've never seen this before. That is so cool. And this, like, ocean background is so nice. Like, it's almost like propaganda trying to, you know, hide the fact that this is a desert. And also, before I continue any further, let me just post this in the official Mabby Discord. You know, I should probably do that. I have that, ability. I'm allowed. I have the role, and I just don't even take advantage of it. Another thing that we're looking at is use of space. So what I really love about this homestead is the proper use of space. You know, it'd be so easy to just not use much of this space over here. And what we often see a lot of the participants do is build against the walls And what we mean by that is a lot of the center of the homesteads are kind of empty, and the walls get a lot more attention. But what I really like about this homestead is there's so much detail put into these areas that really there's not much going on here. It's just a couple of tables and chairs, but it does really help to flesh it all out, which I really like. So that's quite nice. I don't really see anything too standoutish. I'd say this jellyfish thing is a little standoutish for the theme, just kind of random. But I guess it does fit if it's just like a, you know, little decoration. It's not too far off. It is like by this tank, so nothing wrong there. Yeah, it's very impressive giving like a beach resort in a desert area. Like, that's just very clever. I love this house. I mean, obviously this is the centerpiece. Looks so nice. Can't really say too many bad things about that. I love that. And where would I be if I didn't talk about this giant boat? Like, I don't know if I'm able to get up there. I've never seen this. Oh, I am. Okay. Wow. I don't want to think about how much this probably costs in game. Probably more than we are going to be giving out in the actual event in general. Like, very expensive, but super nice. I love this thing. I've never seen this before either. I mean, it is kind of glitchy. What do you expect with a giant boat like this? I think this is even bigger than like the Homestead yacht. Or not the Homestead yacht, like the what is that thing called? What am I thinking of? The chair, the giant chair, if you've ever seen it. And then let's go back to the treasure hall over here. And the anchor, I mean, come on. That's so cool. Sandcastle, hammock. The treasure hall. I didn't know there was this many items that were so cohesive in the game. Very nice, very nice. The carpet is a really good addition, of course, too. And then we kind of have a little bit of a game area over here. I like that. Almost like a little carnival. Very cool. I'd be remiss if I didn't get a shot of my character real quick. Hold on. Can I get it? Ah, there we go. Very nice. Ferris wheel. And you can see this person, they log in every day. They mine. You know, a homestead of this quality, you better get those homestead stones. Very nice. Okay, so let's talk about how we would grade this homestead, now that we've kind of seen everything. Use of space, I would say, and I won't talk about like specifically how I'm grading every little thing with every single homestead. And I love this too, that's really cool. It's almost like, you know, you line up, give your name, and then you can walk in. But let's talk about how we would grade one of these homesteads just as an application to our thought process on how we're grading everything. So, let's go. Pull up my Excel sheet where I'm grading. So for creativity, this would be a 3. Just a total 3. I think it's very creative. I really like it. Not much else to say there. Creativity is one of those subjective ones. Of course, these are all relatively subjective, but I'd say it's very creative, especially for being a desert. And having this ocean beach resort vibe is really cool. I really love this area. This is my favorite part, probably, aside from the giant ship. Theme, total 3. I don't see anything that really stands out from the theme. And even if there was one or two items for, you know, being odd in the theme, how we're thinking about it is more, let's say there's like 500 individual homestead items, right? If there's one or two things that are kind of, that doesn't quite fit the theme, but it's not jarring, then I'd say it's still pretty much spot on for the theme, if that makes sense. If there was something that was completely jarring and just made absolutely no thematic sense, then yeah, we might have to consider it, but with the such nice theme overall, I'd say I give this a theme 3. And for detail and effort, I'd give it a 3. I'd have to say another 3, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but this is gonna be a tough act to follow. Visual appeal. Let's see. Visual appeal is pretty nice. I have to be quite strict on this, and maybe I would say, maybe I'll give it 2 on visual appeal and a 3 on use of space. Mainly because visual appeal is, it's nice, but it's not like, when I first saw it, I wasn't like, oh my god, this homestead is amazing. I'm like, okay, this is quite nice. I really like the theme of this. But aside from that, I feel like I have to give it a 2 for visual appeal. Just because we have to be rather strict when we're grading things that are so high. It should be almost impossible to get a total perfect score. So we gotta be a little strict, otherwise everyone's gonna be getting a perfect score. But this is quite the nice homestead. I do wish there was a little bit more, I don't know, like maybe a little bit more tree. I get that there can only do some type of trees, but it seems more like a resort than it does a homestead, which is okay. Yeah, it's a little, I don't know how to quite put my thumb on it. Some of the, like, maybe the bamboo walls are kind of a little off, but that's okay. I like all the hidden stuff back there. You gotta get that out of the way, of course. But yeah, I'd say a 2 for visual appeal. And you'll start to see why as I check more homesteads. Some of the visual appeal of these homesteads is incredible. But without further ado, I think that will be the end of this one. So a total score of 14. And my other guild officer is even more strict than me, gave it a total score of 11. Totally fine. That's why there's 2 of us. He apologized. He said he's sorry. He had to give it 11. He's more strict than me. I'm good cop, he's bad cop. Okay, let's check the other homesteads. And check out everyone here. Very nice. We'll do Cave Bat now, who is in their homestead. Wow. Okay. I think this has changed quite a lot since I last saw it. I apologize in advance for some of these homesteads. They are so detailed, I feel it's gonna be a mess on the stream. I apologize. It's not my fault. Maybe it is my fault. Okay. It's gonna be a little laggy. I love this. This is so cool. It's like a baseball diamond. It is kind of strange that it's like flowers and then snow. We'll get there, I guess. Pretty nice. Snow homesteads are kind of hard to work with. Interesting little pasture. I wonder if that's customizable. I really like the, what do you call this? Symmetry with some of these things. A lot of cat items. The nice little wagon. Nice little bazaar area, kinda. Oh, and look at Lorna up there. Very cute. Okay, okay. I love these trees and this this archway. I've seen this in a couple homesteads. I think it's really cool. I love the snowmen everywhere. Okay. Interesting. Very nice. Oh, wow. This is an interesting section. It's like more of a Halloween theme. These snowmen are deliberating over here. They're practicing some black magic, maybe. There's a story going over here for sure. I really think that's cool. Oh, I really like this. I don't know if this telescope is part of this set, but that's really cool. Okay, okay. Nice section. That's probably one of my favorite sections. And then, ta-da! We have Star Cookie 3 hanging out here with Cave Bat. Gotta give some support. We love to see it. I don't know what the heck this thing is, but it's very cool. Got some food. Quite nice, quite nice. Ooh, now this. I love this. My favorite area. Very cool. I have yet to see it. I don't think I've seen it yet, but like a snowy Christmas theme would be really cool. I don't think anybody's done it yet. I don't know if there's enough Christmas items in the game for that, but I really like that appeal. Okay, let's talk about grading. This one, I think, is challenging homestead because it is a snowy homestead. I've seen some snowy homesteads work. I think it can be challenging when there's almost like a bit of a theme mismatch with some of the grass items for sure, particularly around areas like this. It's kind of like, is grass a thing in this homestead, or is grass not a thing in this homestead? That's kind of the concern I have a little bit. It is a little jarring when you have like random grass patches. It is also a little jarring to have, what was I looking at? The grass patches, but there's also a couple weird things like, and let me go over there, like this tiki area is cool, but it's not quite thematic to a snow area. Fit the last homestead very well, but this homestead, of course, it doesn't fit quite as much. So the theme on this one, I don't really see an overarching theme. I see a snow homestead, which is okay, but the rest of the sections don't have an overall theme. There's this Halloween theme, there's a tiki theme, there's a more Eastern theme over here. I wish the homestead kept certain elements like this. I really wish it kept the candy elements and the this type of snow element, like, you know, over the entire homestead would be, I think, really cool. I think some of the these like elements, I think they can exist, but it would be very hard to implement these type of items. Although they are very pretty, I feel as though it's very hard to implement them in a homestead of this type, unfortunately. I don't like the use of space in this area. It seems a little disjointed. That's just my personal opinion. I really like this area too, but the greenery doesn't quite match the snow theme, if that makes sense. So that's kind of putting me off. But it is detailed. I could tell there was a lot of effort put into it. Let's talk about our grading. So for this homestead, I will give, and we are in, geez, whose homestead did I enter? I totally forgot. Cave Bat. Okay. Let us go ahead and give Cave Bat. For the creativity, I have to give it a... I don't want to be too mean here. I'm going to give it a 1. I'd say it's lacking in overall creativity. I think the most creative part of this homestead is the snowmen. I really like that. But I don't see anything else too standoutish. Remember, this is a competition, so we're not trying to be rude, but we gotta be strict to really filter out, you know, what is creative and what's not. And when we only have 3 categories, you know, a 1 isn't bad. A 1 is just not particularly amazing. So I hope no one is too offended. But we do appreciate all of the homesteads nonetheless. I'm trying to think what else I really find creative about this homestead. There are sections, but they just feel a little disjointed. What else? This area was pretty creative, but it's only a small portion of the homestead, if that makes sense. Little disjointed. It's cool, but I feel like though the creativity is not quite there. Detail and effort, or theme. Let's not skip here. Theme, I will give a 1. Unfortunately, I don't really detect an overall theme, and that's really what we're looking for. A very overall consistent theme, which I don't quite see, besides the fact that there's snow all over, but then even in some sections there's not snow all over, and there is grass and flowers. The detail and effort, I will give it 2. It is detailed. I can definitely tell there was effort put in. Visual appeal, I have to give a 1. Just because it goes into the, like... visual appeal, we're trying not to combine the other 2 categories, but it's kind of like more of a vibe. Like when you walk in, like, how appealing is this? Like kind of that wow factor. And when I first walked in, I did like this section, but then as soon as I stepped out of it, I was like, oh, it's snow, but there's grass, and there's also too many theme breaking things. It doesn't make the homestead bad. It just makes it a little less consistent than I wish it was. And the tiki area is nice, but I feel like though the tiki thing should be removed, and the what do you call this, beachfront should be removed. Things like that don't really match the vibe. The random water spots don't make sense to me. Things like this just seem out of place. This especially, just a random grass patch, like, not quite what I would have wanted out of a snow homestead. I can understand that they are challenging, though. Use of space, I will give it 2. Use of space is not bad. Use of space is pretty good. there's definitely things all over. And in the center of the homestead, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, is a lot of people build along the walls. And you can see in the center of the homestead, it's almost empty compared to the focus, which is all along the walls. But I can tell that this user did try to, use the center as a little bit of a walkway. And even in the area that wasn't a walkway, it's more of like a park area, which I don't mind. So I'll give it 2 for that. That gives a total score of 11. So let's go ahead and check the next person. Which is Dream Wish. We'll just go in order here. All right. And Dream Wish is here to see. Okay, so I like the vibes so far. I like that it's not lagging. Okay, very cute, very quaint. I really like the utility of this area. Very nice. Got tons of stuff here. Even got some bookcases. This is a nice, really nice flower. Very cute. Little kitty cat. Love to see it. Little cooking area. The house, I like, matches the colors. Food truck area. Got to show off the garage, I guess. The greenhouse is always nice to see. Very nice homestead item. Cool little bridge. Interesting. You know, for level 15 homestead, I guess this user might not have totally expanded it all the way. I can't really tell. But you almost can't tell that it's level 15 because it's so dense. It doesn't look so huge because this user has made a really nice job of making use of the space. Oh, that's nice. I like that. This little zen area. Very cool. Someone said, I'm not lagging, I'm having fun. Thank you. 6 expansions. Wow, that's quite large. Yeah, this homestead is really nice. I really like that there is herbs kind of scattered about. A lot of users will just kind of throw them all in one location, which definitely makes them easier to use, that's for sure. But this feels a little bit more organic, and I like that. Very cool. Really like the flower vibe. Okay, I think that is most of the sections. And like, look at this. There's just a random. Well, I guess this is a rock on a tree. It kind of looked like it's just a rock, but I was gonna say that's quite the detail, just to be in the middle of the forest. Okay, I think I looked at all of the sections. Maybe I missed this part. Okay, quite nice. So let's talk about how we would rate this homestead. Sorry, because my Excel sheet is not in order of when I'm doing this, so Dream Wish, here we go. I'd say the creativity, I give a 2. Tell this guy to turn music down and voice up. Let me see if I can adjust my mic a little bit. Sound settings. Let me try to adjust my microphone for you, good sir or ma'am. Input. Because I do want to have everyone, how's that? That should be a little better, maybe? But I can also adjust the music of the game. I have it pretty much all the way down. There we go. I can also just adjust it here manually. Let me know if my audio is good or bad. But as I was saying, I give the creativity a 2. It is creative in the sense that it has this little fairy theme, flower theme, which it sticks to quite well. It's not trying to really... what's the word? I feel like it's creative in that it's trying to be more organic. It's trying to be very original, so it's not... it feels like more like a actual home property, if that makes sense. A lot of it is just forest as well, which is a bold move to almost intentionally make your homestead smaller, which I think is really paying off here. And, you know, having the herbs kind of strewn about instead of all in one area, I think is nice. I think it's really nice. So I'll go ahead and give a 2. Some homesteads do have custom music. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I try not to mute it completely. I can hear the audio quite nice, and I do appreciate the music. It's definitely helping the atmosphere. Theme, I will give a... Let's see. Yes, I'll give the theme a 3, just because I see nothing breaking the theme. I think the theme's great. Pretty nice. Detail and effort, I will give a 2. It is quite detailed. I can tell there's a lot of effort, but I have seen a lot of homesteads that have an insane amount of detail and effort. So to give a 3, it has to be reserved for the, like, just sheer wow of items and detail. But this is very detailed. I can tell there's a lot of effort, so not to diminish anything. Visual appeal, I think I will give a 2. I like it. I think there are a little bit of issues with the visual appeal. Like, I don't like that this is here just kind of randomly in the middle. Some little minor things. Nothing too major. Visual appeal is kind of a tough one to really articulate, but just, you know, it's nice. Like, you look at the homestead, and when you think about the visuals of it, you're like, wow, I like this. This is nice, but it's not, like, so shocking, like, absolutely wow kind of factor. That's what we're looking at there. But quite nice visual appeal. And use of space, I'd give a 3. The use of space in this homestead, I think, is pretty much perfect. Did a really great job of using all the space. What I'm looking at for use of space generally is, what's the density of the items? Like, is it evenly dispersed like it kind of should be? Or is it kind of focusing towards one side? And I don't really see too much focus on one side or another in this homestead. So that gives a total score of 12. Very nice. Let's check the next homestead. Great job, Dream Wish. Okay. Next person will be Jumbo Shrimp. Okay. Wow, look at this. This is kind completely different from when I think I first checked it, if I did indeed first check it. That is quite the entrance, I gotta say. Wow, this is probably the most organized homestead I've seen. I don't know what the heck this pillar is, but that thing is cool. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think I checked this one. I think my guild officer checked this one. Wow. I really like this. I can't dock too much out here. What I really like about this homestead, I've never seen this be performed before, but there's like this walled portion. Oops, there's this walled portion. It's almost like the Dunbarton, where it's, you know, you have the walled city, and then outside in the outskirts, you don't have much. I think that's really unique and cool. I really like that they did that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Wow. And even though, you know, the outside's probably not supposed to get too much attention, there's a lot of detail going on over here. Let me turn on my other music because I think the user would like to play some music for us. Some performances. There we go. We'll let them play their theme song. Unfortunately, I can't stand there to listen to it the whole time, but this is, yeah, I'm in shock. This is really cool. I know I'm spending more time on the outside. We will go inside momentarily. Really like this. That is so cool. Wow. That's an interesting way to set up your homestead. Okay. Very nice. I love this part, like that these are sectioned off. I think it's a great little park addition. What is this thing over here? Like a little chill spot. Okay, cool. So hard to see sometimes, I know. What the heck? There's vending machines in this game now? That is awesome. I love that. Okay, that's like the back of the homestead. Let's check out the front. Little pot. A little bazaar. Okay, cool, cool. Some more park areas. Ooh, I didn't see this before. A little logging area. This is so interesting. I don't know what these are. I'm guessing these are, maybe you can plant something here. I'm not actually quite sure what that is. I don't know what this is either. Another greenhouse variant? Wow. That's really cool. This would have been nice in the snowy homestead. Oh, this is for metallurgy. Oh, what the heck? I didn't know this was a thing. Every time I go to these homesteads, I find something new. That is quite nice. Okay. All right. Let's start the rating on this one. This one is really, really cool. Let's go ahead, listen to this music next to this person while we rate it. So this is, if I remember correctly, yep, Jumbo Shrimp. Creativity, I'll give it 3. This is by far the most creative one I've seen so far today. I really love how they set it all up. This is very nice. Just clear cut and dry. Very creative. The theme, I gotta give, I'll give a 2 to the theme, and I'll elaborate why. I think the theme is pretty nice, but I have seen a couple strange things that, like, maybe make it a little less thematic. Particularly, where was it? I saw, like, these random pots. Not particularly this one. I understand the function of the magic cauldron, like, actually being a useful item in your homestead, but the graveyard, it is cool. I feel like it's a little out of theme. This greenhouse is cool, but I feel it's a little out of theme. You know, it doesn't really match the vibe for the rest of the homestead. Just like I feel like if this was to exist, it ought to be inside the walls, if that makes sense. Unless it's trying to look like a mausoleum, like a little graveyard area. But I just feel like it seems a bit out of theme. Stuff like this seems a bit out of theme for me too. I know it is kind of throughout the homestead, so it's not like too it's not too not thematic, but I feel as though I don't see much other applications of these things. And the other things I was referring to are, where were they? I saw like a random like pot cauldron. I was like, oh, that's a little weird. I don't like that. If I could find it, this thing is so big. Maybe I missed it. I'm gonna have to start using my pet to run around. And the stream will start really lagging. Over here. Maybe he'll show me. Ah, yes. This thing. Just seems a little random. I know it serves a purpose. But I wish it would have been in a different section, if that makes sense. Like the cauldrons and the pots and all the magic items, I wish like kind of belonged in their own area instead of kind of being spread out. That way it kind of matches the theme a little bit more because there's a dedicated portion of the homestead for it. For example, the logging area is a dedicated portion, right? It makes sense because it's all over here. The graveyard kind of makes sense because it's all over here. There's no other graveyard items besides that one random casket. So things like that make sense because they're in their own area. So when you have a lot of magic items, like maybe even the Finny stuff as well, I feel as though that should be collected all in its dedicated area. And that way it kind of makes the theme a bit better because it's organized in that way. Just like you would organize some of the productivity items, just like you would organize the herbs, just like you would organize the... There was also... This goes more into visual appeal, I guess, but we'll get there. But other than that, I'd give the theme 2. There's not too much, like, besides the walled-in area, I don't see much of a, I don't know, like, solid theme. I see mix of elements, which is okay. But I'll give a 2 for theme, but I do think it is quite nice. Should my character be online for this? No, you do not have to have your character online as long as I can visit your homestead with you being offline. Detail and effort. This one, I think I gotta give a 3. There was a lot of detail put into this. I don't even want to imagine the detail required to even set this up. That's a lot of detail, so just good job. Very good job. Visual appeal, I think I gotta give a 3. It looks great. That's kind of that wow factor that we were talking about. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh wow. Like, and it kind of was shocking me the whole time. I was like, this is nice, this is refreshing, this is very appealing to me. I really enjoy this. So very nice. And use of space, that one is tricky, because on one end I want to give it a 3, but there were a couple things that I didn't like. Just a couple things. I feel like there's a lot of empty space over here particularly, which I totally understand, because, you know, you can't have all of your homestead be occupied, but I feel like, I don't know, some grass patches or trees or just something to fill these gaps would be nice, which the user does do in these other portions. Like, there's trees to block that off here, herb patches to block this off here. This area I don't really mind too much, but I wish there would be a little bit more trees and things of that nature, or maybe you know, just something. And I did, like, this area, I see it makes sense because there's metallurgy right here, so how are you supposed to hide a body? Yeah, like, how are you supposed to hide the casket over there if it's just in the open? You gotta, you know, fill it with trees. And I get that this makes sense. I wish this was walled off or something. Like, I wish there was some type of fence to kind of block in this area. I know there's, like, some metal fences in the game that are like this, that aren't Halloween variants. I wish stuff like this was, like, a little more sectioned off, if that makes sense. But, so use of space, it is tough. It is tough. I'll still give it a 3, even though I kind of want to give it a 2 for those little nitpicks. But I think I have to give it a 3 just because the audacity to make it, like, separated so well. Like, even though there are some sections out here that aren't, like, perfect, the idea is so cool, and I really appreciate that, you know, a lot of time and effort was spent on the inside, and then you walled it off and kind of tried to, you know, what's the best term? Just not even really, still decorate the outside, but in a way that you didn't have to put so much detail, and it still fit very well. So I think for that, I have to give it a 3. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. Very nice homestead. Very creative. Let's go ahead and check the next person, which will be Lina or Lina. Make sure I'm keeping track of all these scores. Okay. Very green. Very green. Interesting. Nice little area over here. Let me get in there. Okay. Love the greenhouse. We love to see it. There's representation from Grumbill's over here. Shout out to Grumbill's Guild. We love to see the support. Very nice area over here. I love to chill here. I think there's another Grumbill over there. Yep, let's go. Let's go check him out. Very nice. Got the husky. We love to see the doggos. Some herbs. Cool, cool. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this. I don't think I can walk in there. It's too detailed. That's very cute. Very cute house. We got some more Grumbill representation over here. Interesting. Now that is a lot of detail. Starting to lag over here. Now, wouldn't you just love to wake up on a bed like this in a flower field? That would be so refreshing. Very nice area. Love the teapot stuff. Let's check out other stuff. Let's do the right side before we do the left. Got some more Grumbill action over here. Very cool. Guild leader. Shout out to him or her representing the guild. Ooh, I think I was over here already, but I see a pathway. Very nice. Chill spot. Love the trees. Horse stable. This would be a chill spot to hang out too. I love the ginkgo tree look. Very nice. Ooh, look at that. Cute. Now that, look at that. That's screenshot material. Very nice. And then let's check the center. Oh man, the Grumbills. They're uniting. Let's check the center. Very nice. Chill spot. Oh wait, what was that? Oh, little blocked off area. That's awesome. Okay. I think we've seen everything. The Grumbills are uniting. Let's give them their screen time. I love that. Okay, so we are in Lena's homestead. For creativity, I will... Creativity. I'd say I give this a... I think for this one, I'll give the creativity a... I think I have to give it a 1. Not to be cruel, but just because we see this often, that homesteads are just little sections of stuff, which is okay. That's how most people run their homesteads, but it's not particularly creative. We'll get to a homestead today that is a very simple design. Very simple. I cannot wait to show it to you. It fails in almost every rubric that we grade, except for creativity. It is massively creative, but it's just not good at anything else. Because it is so unique. But when we ultimately look at this homestead, there's not much unique conceptually about it. It is a homestead, it has sections, it is pretty, but In terms of creativity and originality, I'd say it's par for the course. So we'll give it a 1 for that. Who else? For theme, I will give a 2. I think the theme does a pretty good job. These guys are so funny. My turn with the brain cell. This guild is awesome. Theme, I think I give it 2. I don't really see anything out of theme. There are some interesting things that I don't really like. Maybe the little water portions seem just a little bit out of theme. The bamboo isn't too out of theme, but there's a large combination of trees, and it's kind of like one of every single color. The eastern portion in the center, I don't know if I like. I don't know if I like that for the theme. Like this portion, yeah, you could tell this is all very in theme, very nice. But then you get to like the eastern portion and some of the watery bits, and I'm like, interesting choice for sure. Not too bad, but I'd say I give a 2 to the theme. Detail and effort. I think I'll give a 3 for the detail and effort. It's quite detailed. A lot of effort. I really appreciate stuff like this. Helps with the visual appeal. Speaking of visual appeal, I will give the visual appeal a 2. There are nice areas like this and the rest that are nice, but I'm not a huge fan of this big open spot. It is a little tricky to like this area, like things like this that I don't know, kind of irk me, like random patches like this. Little, like some of the sections aren't perfect. My homestead was checked by Alex Faye. Want me to add you in game? Yes. If you are watching and your homestead was checked, and I don't have you added, please send me a friend request in game, same username and everything. Final portion, use of space. I will give use of space a 2. Kind of for the reasons I previously mentioned. Okay. Very nice. Good job, Lina. And now we go on to Medusa. Alrighty. I remember this homestead. Forest looks best when zoomed in, but the view should also look good when zoomed out. Okay, well, thank you. I mean, look at that. That's very nice. And I just love that Medusa gives that, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, but NPC vibe. Like she fits into the game with that idol and all of that section. Wow, very nice. It almost looks like it could be a portion in the game. Even got the statue of Himmel. Shout out to Himmel. We love him. Very cute house. This is a very cute section. very interesting. You know, like kind of how I was talking about before, a lot of people build along the walls, so I always like to see when people make use of space like this. Very nice. I would love to just, you know, sit here, drink some tea. This is cute. Really like this section. The music is awesome too. Although we are not counting music. This is nice. See, this is kind of what I mean. A lot of people, they have just empty space on the edges of their homestead, but you can't even tell where this homestead ends because the density of the trees. Which is really nice because a lot of these trees you could just make yourself. And, you know, you can't even go to the outskirts of it. She's done a very good job of just hiding the edge, which I really appreciate that. Let's see if we can find any more stuff. That way we get a nice appraisal of everything. I think I just got myself lost in the forest here, though. So I'm going to go back out. Let's try looking at it zoomed out. I think I see something over here. Ooh, look at this. Interesting. I like that this kind of tells a story. Very nice. Very nice little detail there. What else? You know, this homestead, it's, oh, here we go. A little bit more stuff. I was going to say the homestead is relatively simple, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all. I thought I saw something over there. Maybe I'll have to go check it out. Very nice. Let's see what's over here, if there's anything. Kind of a dead end. That's okay. Okay. I can just smell the pine needles. I'm determined to make my way over here and see what these glowy things are. Okay. I don't know what this is, but gotta hide that. Totally understandable. But yeah, very nice homestead. Very simple. We love to see that, though. Does not need to be complicated in the sense that there is tons and tons of items. Ooh, I didn't even see these portions. If I could navigate my way in here. Okay. Nice. Cool. Back in the beginning. Okay. Let's talk about scoring. Creativity, I give a... Hold on, let me find this user on our rubric. I give a... I give it a... This one is challenging. My guild officer is judging me right now. This one's challenging. It is creative. It is definitely not a 1. I'm torn between a 2 or a 3. It is a fully fleshed out forest, which is really nice. But I'm trying to think if it's doing anything completely original, which, you know, should be reserved for 3s. That one is tricky. Like, I really want to give it a 3 because I like this homestead, but I gotta, you know, kind of question myself, like, is this deserving of a 3, though? I have to say a 2 for creativity. I'll give it a 2. Where am I at on here? I give it a 2 only because The forest is creative, however, the rest of it is just regular homestead. Not in a bad way, but it is creative, but it's not the most creative thing I've ever seen. Theme, 3, obviously. Very nice theme. Very nice. The detail and effort, I think I got to give that a 3 as well. Even the details just to hide, the fact that you're in a homestead just looks like a forest. That's really nice. Visual appeal. Geez. Medusa is going to be getting some high marks here. Visual appeal's got to be a 3, and use of space is a 3. So, pretty good job. Pretty good job. Let's check our next homesteads. We're already going to have to do some tiebreakers. But that's okay. Let's go to Miroku's homestead. I need to do a request. So we'll skip them for now and go to Nasumi Rain. Actually, I don't think Miroku is officially on our participant list. I will have to be double checked on that, though. Some of these people on this list are not actually participants. Okay. Very nice. Got another forest homestead vibe going on here. Very nice. I always like seeing like the functional areas. Interesting. Very nice. I like how this herb patch is not totally just a square. Nice. I like this area. Okay. Relatively simple homestead. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's talk about our grading, because this one is pretty short, sweet, and simple. But there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. Let's do, this is Nasumi Rain. Creativity, I will give a 1 for that one. Not much, I mean, yeah, I'd say 1. Not in a bad way, it's just not the most creative thing I've ever seen, which is okay. Not too bad. Pretty nice. The theme, I will give a 2, because it does a pretty good job of the theme, but there is some strange things, like the, what do you call that? Merry-go-round. And the Mag Mel stuff I don't think fits. There's a camel for some reason. The cat stuff, yeah, I don't really like the cat stuff for the theme, but I like the rest of it. So those are only a couple things that are not thematic, but the rest are pretty thematic. So I'll give it 2 for that. The detail and effort. Detail and effort, I will give a 1. Not bad. It's just a lot of the trees on the outside are like just in a straight line, which I don't really like that much. I feel like it looks a lot less organic that way. I think a little bit more thought could have been put into that. Someone asked a question, is the total scores from you plus the other judges' points? Yes. So the way that we are going to do it is going to be a combination of the me, the other judge, and if we have a tiebreaker, we have a third judge as well. So we actually will have to pull in our third judge already for some of these. Now, where was I? On Nisumi Rain. Visual appeal. The visual appeal, I'll give it 2. I do like how it looks. It's not too bad, but it's not amazing. I do like that the use of space was good, so use of space I will give a 2 as well. Mainly because you definitely didn't waste too much space. And even the space that was open, you occupied with herbs, which isn't too bad. So I give it a 2 for use of space. Not too bad. Very good. Let's check the next homestead. All right. Next person we got is Ogre. Now, I've seen this homestead before. This is going to be quite the doozy. Please use point of view instead of zoomed out. Okay. As per that person requested, I will try to use point of view, zoomed in, and then I'll zoom out later. It's going to be quite laggy, so I can only zoom in so much. But already it is quite detailed. If I was just judging this section, I think it'd get high marks. But we have more, so let's check it out. The music is scaring me. Quite thematic. Very nice. Interesting. Where'd all the horses go? Ta-da! Oh, happy sunshine. Love the music change. Who the heck is in there? The Lich? What the heck? I did not know you could go in here. Interesting. Very cool. These guys are just having some fun over here, hopping around. Love to see it. Nice little break from all the horror. Very nice. Ooh, look at that. Purple area. Very cool. Oh, look. Aloe vera. We already checked their homestead. Very nice. What's over here? Okay. Very nice. Ooh, we even got a little pumpkin on the ground. I don't even know how they did that. And this looks like the Mabby logo. Kind of. I think that's what it's trying to be. And here we go. A little diner area. Very nice. With a DJ spot. So you already know what the heck is going on. I'm just going to hit my sick dance moves here for a bit. There we go. All right. Break time over. Ah, this is nice. Little study area. Somewhere to make a potion. Very cool. Very nice. My guild officer has given his rating already. They've seen this one before. Very nice. Not sure if I'd want to eat any of the food here, given the Halloween nature. I feel like it would make me sick. Okay. I think that is everything, right? Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now, quite nice. Can accommodate quite a lot of people. A lot of detail. A lot of detail. A lot of thought put into this one. That's for sure. Okay, let's talk about our rating. All right, so creativity, a 3, definitely creative. This is kind of what I mean with the creativity. It is a homestead, but it is trying to tell a story here. There's very distinct sections. It's a lot more original than any other homestead we've seen. And that's kind of what we're looking for with creativity, is originality. And I'd say this is quite original. We've seen Halloween aspects in homesteads, but we have not seen the entire thing be a Halloween theme. And we have not seen, I don't know, like just the sheer scale and dedication before. And I mean, this being your centerpiece, that's just very creative. So I think it's obvious. 3 for that one. Theme, yeah, gotta give a 3. Detail and effort, 3. Visual appeal, I will actually give the visual appeal a 2 for this one. I think it's very cool, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen other homesteads that personally the visual appeal was maybe a bit higher. I think the theme is very cool, but yeah, the visual appeal, it's good. I don't think it's the best I've seen. And use of space, a 3, of course. Very good use of space. Can't really argue that. Overall, this homestead does a wonderful job. Probably the best themed homestead we've seen today. And Ogre did a great job. And I happen to know that they use their homestead a lot for their guild. And go figure, because... having this in your guild would be pretty clutch. Very good job. Now let's check. Seraphim, I believe is how you say that. All right. Wow. Let's zoom in a bit. I'm already lagging. I apologize for my 11 frames per second, everyone. I'm trying. Very detailed, very colorful. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. All right. Very colorful. I mean, if this was something I was paying money for, like some type of, what do you call those places that you can go and see flowers, like a botanical garden, I would get my money's worth. Very nice. Even these people are in theme. Look at that. That's amazing. Well, I guess that's more of a partner, but still. I mean, imagine just chilling here, eating a, what is that? An egg roll? Is that what that's supposed to be? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Tempura, maybe? Pixels, perhaps? Very nice. Looking at the koi fish. Love it. Very nice. Very colorful. Got a little chill area. Always love the red trees. The red little maple trees are awesome. Shout out to Maple Story. Oh, look, we even got the little Maple Story guy here. Never played Maple Story too much, so I don't remember what he's called. But when I was in Korea, there was a lot of snacks with his face on it. Wow. Very colorful. Very detailed. I'm representing Maple Story. Very nice. There's so much detail here. I'm just soaking it all in. Wow. I really love this aesthetic too, with these what do you call these things? Gazebos, I guess? I really like those. Jeez, this homestead has so much detail. It just keeps going. Wait, I've already been here. Okay. Infinite homestead glitch. Alrighty. Wow. I really like this area. This is probably my favorite part. Can I get in here? Oh, yeah. I need a bath in an area like this. I just need one. This would fix me. That would fix me. And rejuvenate me for life. And I'd get out, have a cool glass of whatever this is. That would fix me, for sure. Love it. I can smell the lavender, the wisteria. No idea what wisteria smells like, but I assume it smells like lavender. That's my headcanon. I don't know what that bath is. I've seen it a couple times, though. This is quite nice. Okay, I think I took a look at everything. Oh, let's go inside this garden. Very nice. Or not garden, greenhouse. Okay. Let's see if I missed anything. Apologize if it gets a little framey. I think that's about it. Quite nice. Let's talk about our grading. Did I go over here? I think I did. Let's talk about how we would grade this one. And we are in Seraphim. Creativity. Creativity for this one, I give, let me take another peek around. I think for this homestead, I will give the creativity a 2. Not because I dislike it, but because kind of the previous... It's hard to get a 3 for creativity, and I think it should be hard to get a 3 for creativity. It's nice. It's a very nice homestead. I think it will get very high scores in the other portions, but for this one, I think it's good. The creativity is good, but it's not completely insane. Something I'd never seen before in my life. Theme, a 3, of course. The detail and effort, a 3, of course. Visual appeal. Visual appeal. This... Visual appeal. I think I gotta give it a 3. And use of space, I didn't notice any bad use of space. I mean, this area is a little, like, less fleshed out, but I don't think that's, I think that's by design, just because it's a little walkway. So, yeah, 3 for use of space. We're gonna have to do quite a few tiebreakers, in the future. But shout out to Seraphim, very nice homestead. I would love to live here. Very good job. Okay, now let's check Star Cookie 3, Enter Homestead. We have quite a few more to go through. Wow. The Pierrick fans have really showed out today. Look at that. Living up to their name. I am honored. Where is my bow gesture? Is there such a one? There has to be, right? Formal greeting. There we go. Okay. Relatively simple homestead in terms of outward design. How many homesteads entered? So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we have a few more to go through. But a lot of them are not so incredible. Not in a bad way, but they're not incredibly detailed that take a very long time to go through. I like this homestead. It's very simple, cute. This is a nice area. Love to chill here. Eat a marshmallow. Ooh, how do we get in there? That's a good question, actually. I don't know how we get in there. By force, I guess. All right. Very nice. Very nice little Halloween theme. Awesome, awesome. Okay. I think we can start grading this homestead. Very nice. And we are in Star Cookie 3s. For creativity, this one I will give a 1. Wait, what shelf? Shelf? I didn't notice any shelves. Unless it was a shelf over here. Let's take a look. Ah, this shelf maybe? Creativity, I'll give a 1 for this homestead. Not because it's bad or anything. It's just, I don't know what is the, it's just a homestead, you know? Square, couple things laid out. Nothing super creative. Nothing super bad, of course. But just relatively simple. Not bad, but not great. So we'll give it a 1. Theme. This one is kind of where we have some issues, mainly because I don't know what the overall theme is. You could say it's kind of a Halloween theme because of these portions, but if I hadn't seen those portions and I 180'd, I don't see any Halloween items, so kind of a lot going on with the theme. So we'll have to give it a 1 for the theme. Not bad, though. Just a little less cohesive than I would have wanted. Detail and effort. The detail and effort... It is definitely detailed in some portions. Like, this has a lot of detail. But the same type of detail I see over here, I wish could be applied to the entire homestead in a sense. So I will give a 2 for the detail. Visual appeal, I have to give a 1 on the visual appeal. It's just kind of not what I would have wanted from a homestead. It's just kind of open, empty space. That kind of goes into use of space. But I'll give a 1. This area over here, the Halloween part, I think is the best part, but it's kind of hidden. And maybe that's by design, but I wish it would have had more of an entrance. I wish these sections would be, I don't know, a bit different. This one, for example, it's a theme, but it's not telling much of a story. It's just kind of items in a section. Like, this is a staircase that goes to nothing. I don't even know what this item is used for, or what Nexon planned with this, like, because you can't even walk on it, so interesting item. But yeah, there's a lot to do. Like, this theme, oh, you can sit on it. Wait, let me try that out. It's a chair? What the heck? How do I sit on this thing? Do I have to right click it? Am I... Ah, here we go. Now that's interesting. What's the second seat? Now this makes more sense. Nexon is outdone me once again. And things like this that are very detailed, I wish would have applied to the entire homestead. I also wish this wasn't blocked by this portion, because it is a nice area, but I feel like it's a little blocked off. So, use of space, unfortunately, will be a 1 for me. And it is mainly just stuff around the edges, minus this chessboard here. But other than that, has a lot of potential to improve. So, very good job. Thank you for sharing, Star Cookie 3. Now let's check Bunny Kitty's homestead. Ah, very nice already. Would you look at that? This reminds me off the rip like a what do you call that game? Animal Crossing world. I know the paths are wildly expensive right now, but they definitely do help. I wish they were not so expensive. Love this. I love these sections. Like, this is really what I love to see, is things sectioned off. Or at least, you know, having some type of separation. I think it looks a lot more realistic, a lot more thought and care put into it. Love this section. Great job. Ooh, this is cute. Nice little house there. Some shout out to Maple Story references. Love that. Ooh, what the heck is this? Nice little background. That's cool. Do I think I'd ever do an island competition? Yes. So we actually opened this competition to Moonlight Islands as well. I know it says Homestead Competition, but we do accept Moonlight Islands. It's just no one submitted any. Maybe that wasn't made clear, though. But this suffices. Love this. This is awesome. These little items, I don't know when these were released, but they are awesome. I love them. This is a nice area. Like, especially when you zoom in like this. Love this little middle piece, the koi. Awesome. So we got like a little theme park area, if you can call it that. Yeah. I mean, that thing definitely fit into the theme park vibe. Candy canes. My favorite Christmas food. Or candy, anyways. See, now that's a thematic use of this mausoleum greenhouse thing. Holy crap, my frames. Interesting. Wow, look. This is like a bit more of a better use for this thing, now that I know what it is. Very cool. Yeah, I need to spend, I need to get a NASA computer in order to get more than 10 frames in this homestead. Very unfortunate. Not for the homestead, but for my computer. The tragedy of unoptimized Mabby. Very nice. Bro is really just chilling there. I'll chill with him. See, if this was my homestead, this is what I would do all day. I mean, look at that view. That's just awesome. Alrighty. Ooh. I don't think I've been over here yet. Very nice. Little park area. Wow. The flower areas I really like, personally. Like the greenhouse flowery areas. They're so cute. Like the little white fencing. Very nice. And we got some characters here. Not sure who they are. Maybe the owner and their spouse, perhaps. If I had to guess. Alrighty. I think that is everything. So, pretty nice homestead. Let's get on to the grading. This area also, by the way, is just awesome. A lot of it's awesome. I don't even think I saw this one very well. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And then that was the anniversary stuff for the fun and games. Yeah, then the Himmel stuff. Okay. Wow. Very good job. Whose homestead are we in again? We are in Bunny Kitty's. Very good job, Bunny Kitty. Not sure if you're watching, but this is awesome. Creativity. So this one is not just a homestead. I mean, it is, but it is also trying to have this flowery area, which it did a very good job. It had the Himmel location, which is really cool, this one. It also has the more theme park area, which I really like. So I think the creativity on this one is very apparent. The sections, like, you know, these look like different worlds, so I really appreciate that. So I gotta give the creativity a 3 on this one. It did a very good job. They did a very good job of separating a lot of these sections and making them stand out on their own. So that's really nice. I really appreciate that. I think so far that's the best job of like these little sections that we've seen. You know, you have like the autumn section, and then you have like the winter section, the flower section, like, and it all does a really very good job of being cohesive. So I love that. Theme, gotta give it a 3. Detail and effort, a 3. Visual appeal, I think I gotta give this one a 3 just for how clean it looks. It doesn't look like overbearing, if that makes sense. Like a lot of homesteads, sometimes there's like maybe too many trees, if that makes sense. I feel like this user has captured the right amount of trees to not be overbearing. There's just a couple, and they did a really good job of not overdoing it, which I think is really nice. So for the visual appeal, I think I'll give this one a 3. Very good job. Use of space, I gotta give a 3. So we have our first 15. Our first perfect score. And the reasoning being, each of these sections I feel like do a very good job. Like this more Eastern Asian section does a great job. This section over here does a great job. Everything is thematic. There's nothing in here that's not thematic. It even has pathways, places to sit. It has a centerpiece right here. It's symmetrical. Like, I don't know if you guys all saw that, but it's pretty symmetrical. So the visual appeal of this area alone was put into perspective. This area does a really good job of, I know it's not a snowy area, but I can forgive them for that. You know, I can let my imagination do some of the work. Good, like, wedding area. Did a good job of adapting this piece for its snowy kind of vibe. Not too many trees. The flower area is doing a really good job. Each of the pathways are different for each theme, so when the character was designing each of the themes, they even thought, you know, what's the best pathway to use, which I appreciate. The use of space in here is good. You know, there's a little bit more space over here, but I really don't mind that because, you know, it's kind of a park area. Very nice. And then this area, I think, is my favorite. I love this area, but I just am a little bit more partial to this type of aesthetic, I guess. But I think I did a good... and then, like, these little... Like, how they combine into the next one. You just walk into the next one, and you're like, ah, new area. And then you're like, boom, completely new area. And that's a lot of detail and effort. Very creative. Very nice. So, Bunny Kitty, if you're watching this after the fact, or watching it now, very good job. Very good job. Okay, let's see who we have next. Kamaya or Kemia. Boom. Okay. I like this area. I really wish, like, if I, like, my homestead, I really wish, these items I had, because I really like this design. A little bit more simple of a homestead, but nothing wrong with that. Nice little bed area. I really like this house. A very pretty house. And, okay. Let's see here. Nice little study. Kind of cramped. What is this? Is that supposed to be like a chair? That's so interesting. What were they thinking? Very strange item, Nexon. But I will... Maybe it's just... I don't know. Some of these items are interesting because they look like they're designed to be, like, inside of a house. Like, there's literally a window there. So it's very interesting homestead item. Maybe they're more for the... oh, it is a chair. Interesting. Let me try to sit on it. Is it like a sittable chair? What the heck? Wow, I'm really hitting that pose. How did my guy get up there? Awesome. Okay. Let's get on to rating of this homestead. This is our user, Kamaya. Creativity. This one, I mean, there's not much going on here, so I'll give it a 1. Nothing significantly creative about this design, unfortunately. Oh. Kemea. Is that more accurate? Kemia. Kemia. Like from Genshin Impact Kemia. Or Ancient Egypt Kemia. I have an entire video on that. The theme. I have to put a 1, unfortunately. Just because there's not much of a theme. There's not enough items for a theme, if I say so myself. There's flowers. There's this fairy house. There's snow trees. There's like 3 themes going on at once. There's this kind of house theme, like study theme, which I think would do better if these 2 sections were combined. So all of the bronze-colored house items, such as this as well, I would personally combine into a greater set. And just kind of bring them all over here, and then try to organize all of these items together in a bit better way. Maybe even remove 1 strip of these these fields to make a little bit more extra space, and then shift them so that they're actually in the corner completely. But other than that, I think there's a lot of stuff in here that could be a little bit more rearranged to go better, especially when you think about combining all the things. So, for example, you have a lot of flower items and stuff, and these, what do you call them, water fountains, or waterfalls, and they can be kind of reorganized to be more in one location. But let's continue. So we are on theme. I have to give it a 1 for the theme, unfortunately. I want to give it higher, but it's a bit too many themes going on. Visual and details. This one, I have to give a 1. I feel like the details are lacking. Too many things are not detailed enough. Also, I said visuals and details. I meant detail and effort. I think it would have demonstrated more effort to kind of do those things that I described previously. But this is more of an art, less of a science, subjective opinion. But it is a competition after all, so we gotta give some credence to that. Detail and effort, I have to give a 1. Visual appeal, kind of the same thing. I have to give a 1, unfortunately. And use of space definitely has to get a 1, only because, not really only because, but I mean, this patch really should be like in the corner. There's some space more that you could have gleaned out of this. This portion, like, is not too bad for use of space, but I mean, this is kind of, this part's killing me. This part's killing me. If it was just shifted a little bit more over, you would have a little bit more space, and then you could have centered this to be right in front of your house, aligned with the door. And then maybe this fountain you could have moved a bit over here, rearranged the bench. I would have probably moved maybe the bed somewhere else, possibly over here where there's like a big gap. But I feel like there's just more things. This what do you call this? I don't know what this is. Terrarium could have been a little bit more of a centerpiece. This probably could have been by the bed as well. I feel like there's just more. Everything's here. There's a lot of good elements here, but I think they need to be rearranged. And if you added a bit more items, I think you could actually have quite a nice homestead. You're just missing a few more items, and just needs to be reorganized a bit more. And I think there was a lot of really good examples that we saw today. And I think we will see some more really good examples of how you don't really need a lot of items for your homestead. You just need a bit more organization. So, good homestead, but I think some room for improvement. But thank you for sharing. And you will still get your reward regardless, because that's what we're doing here. Next person will be Louette. Holy crap. Gonna let this load for a bit. Apologies in advance for the frame rate. I am currently inside a terrarium. Oh my gosh. I think this user has covered every square inch of this homestead. Wow. I don't even know what direction to go in. Okay. This person has a supercomputer, clearly. Oh, yes. I remember this homestead now. When I originally checked it. Don't know what happened to the music. Oh, now this is a nice area. I really like this. Very cool. It lagged so much the music went away. Now this, wow, I've never seen something like this before. That's pretty interesting. Not sure how I feel about the carpets. Triggering me a little bit. But the rest of it is pretty cool. Very interesting. Very detailed, at least. I still love this fishbowl thing. That's awesome. This area is a little strange to me. Holy crap, the lag is real. Let's try this area. Yeah, I apologize for the dead silence. I feel like I must be missing something. An area that I didn't go to yet. Okay, here we go. Do I even want to go up here? Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay, here we go. I guess this area is a little more unfinished than the rest. The lag is so real. Got a little eastern area over here. Very nice. Yeah, the lag. Ooh, I like this area. Very nice. Whoa, that's huge. Some people over here. Okay. I think that is the whole homestead. Let me do a quick check. Yep, we saw that. Yep, we saw all that. I feel like there's got to be more back there that I'm missing, right? Maybe. Is there something back there I'm missing? No, I guess it's just this stuff. Oh yeah, how do I get in there? I knew there was something back there. Oh my gosh. It's kind of like that episode in SpongeBob where they try to go through the perfume aisle. Here we go. Interesting. Oh. It's like a bath area. And then a little study area. Okay, now I think I got everything. Okay, let's talk about grading with this one. My grading on this one, and we are in Louette's Homestead, correct? Yep. My grading on this one will probably surprise some of you. The creativity on this, I think, will be a 2. There are a lot of sections, but I don't think any one of them is particularly, like, great. I think I have, like, little nitpicks with all of them, and maybe that's just a difference of opinion. Very subjective. Besides this area, I really like this area. I think this one's awesome. The rest, though, I think some of these areas are total overkill. So we'll just talk about it. I'll do 2 for the creativity. The theme, the theme, I think I'm gonna do a 2 as well, only because I don't know what the overall theme is, if there even is one, and some of the other areas are not very thematic. Like, I don't know what's going on here. It seems a bit unfinished, if that makes sense. Kind of like a leftover area. Some of the other areas, I don't know what the theme really is, besides some of the items are similar. I'm trying to find a good example. Holy crap, I'm lagging so bad. I'm trying to, like, do a good job of showcasing. I'm sure it looks horrible on the stream. I apologize. This area, like, I don't know what the theme of this area is, if any. So little things like that. I don't know what the theme of said areas is. This area is... Wait. Yeah, this is more of like a flowery area. There's the eastern area. I'm trying to find that other one that I found. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the theme of this area is, because it's kind of like mixed up too much. So I'm going to put a 2 for that one. Detail and effort, I will put a 3. It's definitely very detailed, and a lot of effort. But for visual appeal, this one is going to shock you probably, but I'm going to put a 1 on this one because I think there's way too much in this homestead. In certain areas, I think there's just too much going on. It's hard to really appreciate it all when it's jam-packed, like just totally jam-packed. I think the old axiom of I don't even know what the axiom I was going to say is, but something along the lines of less being more in some instances. Because I can't even really appreciate it when it's so totally packed. It is nice, but I feel like it's a bit overkill. Use of space, I'm going to put a 2 because I feel as though there are some areas that have good use of space, but the other ones, like when you use every single, Like, if you use all of the space completely, that's not, amazing use of space either, because you've used too much of the space. There has to be, like, a nice blend. You don't want, if you had a house, for example, you want to be able to walk around and really appreciate everything. You don't want every square inch covered with some item or flower or, thing. Like, I can't even really figure out how to get to some of the other areas. I keep finding myself, like, going the same areas over and over. Like, oh yeah, this area. This is what I was trying to get to. Not sure what the theme of this is. I mean, I guess it's like astrology library theme. Don't really like the carpets. And then there's just like a random bathhouse, like, they're nice elements, but I feel like they're not mixing well together. So there's a lot of potential here. I think just some things need to be toned down a bit. Just a bit. But other than that, not too bad. A lot of detail and effort, for sure. All right. Very good job, Louette. You spent an incredible amount of time on that homestead, I can tell. Next person will be, let's see. Let's go down my list, actually, now that everyone's offline. Mana Sama. Wowie. Look at this. Something interesting, for sure. So we got, like, sections of it. Like, straight up just quartered off. Cool. More of a production area. It's nice to not be lagging. I appreciate that. This area is, oh, I see. It's like cherry blossom themed. And then we have more of a snow theme. Christmas stuff. Okay. And then we have a Halloween theme. Okay. Interesting. New approach, for sure. I think the best one is this one. Okay, let's talk about rating on this one. Creativity, I will give a 2. Just for the sectioning off is a little bit more creative. A new approach that we haven't even seen at all. We've seen, like, splits before, but not just straight down the middle like that. So I'll give it 2 for creativity, for splitting it up like that. The theme, I'll give a 1, just because I feel like this one is a very easy theme. I got it. The rest of them, they are thematic, but it's kind of like just barely. This is the Halloween theme, just kind of barely, for the use of, like, the entire area, if that makes sense. Like, this one is very thematic because it's making use of the entire area. You can tell very clearly what it's trying to be. The Christmas / winter one is kind of like, here's a couple winter items, Christmas theme. Yes, but I would have liked to see a little bit more. Same applies for the fairy / cherry blossom one. So, where was I? On my rubric. We are in Manasama's. Detail and effort, I think, I'll give a 1 for that one. I think the only really highly detailed one is up here. And I wish the same type of detail would have been applied to the rest. Not very detailed. I understand maybe this user had a lack of items, which is understandable, but just a little lack of items and details. Use our visual appeal. Have to give a 1. It is creative. I don't know how appealing it is, but it is creative. And use of space, that one is interesting because I think I'm gonna give a 1. I was tempted to give a 2 for the separation of this type of style, but inside each one, there's not much use of space. They are quite empty, except for this one. So, for those reasons, I think I'm gonna give it a 1. However, very interesting homestead, and thank you for sharing, Manasama. Okay. Next, we are going to check Bruised Dream, who is in my guild. Aha! Quite empty. But let's rate it anyways. They tried. There is an attempt being made here. Probably going to score quite low. I don't think I really need to elaborate much further. But that's okay. We are accepting quite a lot of homesteads. They're not all going to be highly detailed. Where is she? Creativity? Give it a 1, unfortunately. For the theme, now this is kind of what I meant. So, if not for this fish here, maybe I'd give it a 2. But I have to give it a 1 because there's only like 10 items here, and one of them is kind of out of place. So it stands out much more. So I will give this one a 1. Detailed effort. Probably a 1 as well. Visual appeal. A 1. Use of space. A 1. Not to be too evil about it, but just gotta keep it real for the competitors. It is one of the homesteads of all time. I think it definitely has room for improvement. Even though this homestead is only level 8, I think this homestead can improve a lot more. Even the small homesteads sometimes have an advantage because they are, smaller. So only a couple more items need to be added in order to improve this one, but, it is just starting out. But we love our guild members, so thank you, Bruce Dream, for submitting your participation. And don't worry, you're still getting your reward. And thank you for sharing. Okay. Let's go on to Morgan. Morgan. I don't think I've seen this homestead yet. I think my guild officer checked theirs. Okay. I like this. Let's follow the path. American flag. Let's go. 15 points for that. Just kidding. Or am I? Wow, look at these crystals. What the heck is going on here? In one Tarlac. Suspicious. Quite nice. Little forest vibe. I like it. A little graveyard. Gotta have it, I guess. Boom. We'll check out the outskirts, see if there's any hidden details. Little ritual going on here. These little guys are up to no good. Ooh, this is nice. I like that. My lovely guild officer has come to join in. Take a look for himself. He actually has been watching my stream as well. This is nice. All right. I think I took a look at everything. Let's go ahead and get grading. +1 point for that crazy corner with Tarlac. Yes. That one is interesting for sure. It's telling a story. It is for certain telling a story. Okay. Let's do the grading. So this one is Morrigan. So creativity, I'll give a 1. I want to increase, I always want to give people higher scores, but I just don't see anything too creative about this. It is a forest. You know what? I'll give a 2 actually. Unironically for the Tarlac corner. And mainly for these crops being used like this. This is the only homestead I've seen use crops in the center like this. I have not seen it anywhere else. So that is more creative. I like that the little mini gems are silly and they're telling, not a story so to say, but they are interesting. And I find that more creative than not. So I can give it 2 for that. Let's see. Where was I? Morrigan. The theme, honestly, my guild officer says theme 1, but but I think I will give I think I'll give a theme 2. I think the only thing that's not really thematic is this Sakura Blossom thing. Yeah. Other than that, I think the theme is fairly good. So, theme 2, detail and effort. I'll give it 2. Visual appeal. I'm gonna give a 1. I think it looks good, but I don't know. It's just kind of. No, I'll give it a 2. I'm gonna take that back. just considering all the homesteads we've seen today, this is not the worst visually appealing one, so I feel like it'd be unfair for me to give it a 1. It's definitely not low on that scale, so... Morgan's use of space, I will give a 2. I think some areas like this need a bit more like attention. I get that it's supposed to be a pathway, but there's not much at all in the path. It's just like a little round area. Maybe some grass, you know, a light here and there, something. But other than that, this is a nice homestead. It's very cute, very quaint. I like it. Feels like it could definitely be like a bandit's homestead or something, which is nice because it fits the theme of the game very well. So thank you for sharing, Morgan, and good job. All right, we're almost done. Now we are going to check T-Frog, which I am delighted to share with you all. Please take a look. That's it. This is the homestead, and we are going to do it. Okay. Very hard to navigate. Very hard to navigate. I'm almost there. Hello, snowman. I've not done this before, so I'm doing this live. Yay! Is this the winning one? That's the winning one, right? Let's try to get to the igloo. It's so hard to like walk around everyone. I'm trying my hardest. Oh no, I went the wrong way. And come on, you can do it. Yay. Okay. So, there are over 200 snow walls in there. That's crazy if that's true. Wow. Over 200 snow walls. So, this homestead on the creativity is a 3. The theme is a 3. The detail and effort, a 3. The visual appeal, I will give a 1 because it's kind of silly. In the use of space, that one's tricky because the use of space is perfect, but like at the same time, it's very like dysfunctionally difficult to navigate. But it is creative. So use of space, there should have been a banana prop, so then it could have been rather appealing. Very, very funny. T-Frog, use of space. That one's tricky. I think I'm going to put a 1 on this. Only because it's too... You could barely even walk in here. It does use all the space. It's not very navigatable. But it is good. It is a nice homestead. It's very creative. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Very good job, T-Frog. This is one of my favorites for sure. Next one will be Piranha. Oh my gosh. Quite a lot going on here. Let's let it load in. Okay. Very detailed immediately. Love to see it. Oh, wow, look at that. Fight scene. Ooh, this is like an homage to all the gens. Wow. I wonder what these trophies are for. This person loves Mabinogi. Look at that. An homage to all the characters. Very cool. And the gens. Very cool. Haven't seen that before. Ah, the lag. Very nice. All right, so let's check out this area. See what we got. Interesting. Little pet farm or pet play area. The lag here is a little real. Wow. Talk about flowers. Wow. This area is totally decked out. Okay, let's check out the back. Very nice. Camp area. Always love to see the camp areas. Making me hungry. Have not eaten all day, so you are all making me very hungry with these camp areas. First thing I do when I get off this stream is getting some food, that's for sure. I wish I could eat all this food. It looks delicious. Very nice. A little party area. Got some concerts, some chairs, some food, and some cake. We love to see it. Okay, let's see the final area, I think, coming up here. Wow. Look at that. We got Altam. Unironically, don't remember how to say this guy's name. Wait, there's more. Very nice. What the heck? Spaceship. Yeah, this would definitely go well with the snow homestead. This is a cute area. I like this. And I think that is... Nope, we have more. We have more. Or maybe I saw this area already. Yeah, I saw this area already. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Okay, okay. All right. Very nice. Now, let's talk about grading. We are in Pionya's homestead. Creativity for this one. I think this homestead, I give a 2 for the creativity. There's a lot of portions, like those little sections, especially with the gens, that I really liked. The little like showcases like that. You know, the concert area. But the rest of the areas that we see are not incredibly creative, just because they're kind of things we've seen before. A lot of people have the Eastern themed stuff. A lot of people have the cookout themed stuff. A lot of people have those type of areas, the flower themed areas. So that's a very recurring theme. Speaking of which, for the theme, I'm going to put a 2 for that. Kind of for the same reasons. For detail and effort, I think a 3. Let me see here. No, I think I have to put a 3, really. It is very detailed. Yeah, I have to put a 3. The visual appeal, I will put, that one's tricky, I think. I'll put a 2 for visual appeal. And use of space, I think, deserves... The use of space is interesting because there's a lot of strange sections that don't seem like good use of space. So I think I'm going to put a 2. But pretty good overall. All right. We have 3 more to go through. Thank you for sharing, Pionya, and good job. Roy Mana. Right here. Enter Homestead. I think I remember this one. I just love it when I don't lag. Okay. Nice little bathhouse area. Love it. Little study area. Very nice. Got the house. Kitchen area. Making me hungry. Very nice. Train station. That's so interesting. Very interesting theme. Like, piece. Very unique. Got a little center park. Love it. Love these fences, too. This house entrance is so nice. Little details. Very cool. And we got a little chill area over here. Greenhouse with some flowers. The whip. Little park area. Like farm area-ish. Very nice. Actual farm area. Very nice. Love that. Some productivity stuff. And the cookout area that everyone loves. Okay. Nice little homestead. Very cool. All right. Let's talk about grading with this one. All right. For Roy Mana, creativity. I think I will do a 2 on the creativity. It's not super creative, but it has some creative parts. Theme. I think the theme is... Ah, dang. I think I got stuck in here. I'm trying to see if there was anything... It's at least a 2, but is it worth a 3? I'm gonna put a 2 on the theme. It is pretty good, but there are some random things that, like, that don't match perfectly. I don't think this thing matches perfectly. It is cool. And then also the one white tree that's kind of a snow tree in the middle doesn't really match the theme very well. Put a 2 on that. Detail and effort, I think solid 3. Visual appeal, I think it's a 2. It's very visually appealing, but it's not the most visually appealing we've seen. And use of space, I think is I'm gonna say a 2, just because there's some areas kind of like this in this walkway, which I get as a walkway, but I think it could be adjusted a bit more. Not sure how I feel about this item taking up all that space here either. Just seems like it could have belonged in a different location. put a 2 on use of space. And now we're on to Losty Cakes. However, before I continue to Losty Cakes, I have to commit my fatherly duties to my dog real quick. So give me uno momento. Please enjoy the lovely drip of my guild officer in the meantime, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Alrighty. Now we are on to Losty Cakes. Who is... Do I have them added? I think my guild officer has them added. So my guild officer will check Losty Cakes, and I will check... who's the last person for me? Pack Seiko. Right here. Enter Homestead. Ah, yes. I remember this one too. This is another incredibly detailed one. Gonna take a little while for this to go through. Very detailed immediately. Wow. I guess we'll start across the bridge. Look at that. Look at that. Nice little centerpiece. Nice pathways. Nice little Tory gate. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, I like this area. Ooh. Nice little side garden. Never seen this thing before. Mineral vein. Interesting. The lag is alive and well. I apologize for that, everyone watching. Trying my best here. Okay. Let me get back there. Pretty cool. Nice little functional area. A little bit. I guess I gotta go back out the way I came. The lag is real. Some more productivity stuff over here. Oh, wow. I like this area. Very cute. I like how this was combined. All right. Am I missing any other areas? Yes, I don't think I've gone through this section yet. Very detailed, this homestead. Oh, look at this. This guy's eating the food, everyone. Very cute. I love that. What sauces does he have here? He's got salsa verde, salsa rojo, and salsa anaranjada. I don't know. I don't remember any Spanish. I tried. Phallic bath area. Yeah, I noticed that. Shout out, I guess. Okay, I think that is everything in this homestead that I looked at. Very nice. Okay. Let's get on to the grading. Such a clicky mouse. I'm sorry. It is clicky. So is my keyboard. So we are in Paxeco's homestead, and Paxeco gets a for creativity. That one is interesting. I think I'll do a 2 on the creativity. I'm not seeing anything too standoutish on the creativity. I'll give it a 2. The theme, the theme I will give, that one's tricky as well. I guess it's a little bit more challenging when you're on the end of all the homesteads, because I've seen everything already, so I'm maybe a little bit more hesitant to give higher scores. So I'm trying to not do that and keep it unbiased. So I will give the theme, I will give it a 3. I don't really notice anything that's weird or out of theme. And that's really all we care about. Everything seems pretty thematic, as far as I can tell. As far as I've seen, where was I? It's so hard to tell with everybody on this table I have. Detail and effort, obvious 3. Visual appeal, there are some really nice things in this homestead, but I think I'm going to give visual appeal a 2 because I feel like there's just too much stuff sometimes. a bit too much. Like herbs and flowers like in every square inch, which to me is taking away from the attention of other things, if that makes sense. Like I barely notice the paths because there's so many other things. So that kind of takes away a little bit for me. Subjective though, but things like this are really nice. I mean, come on, that's super nice. And I keep losing where I'm at. Use of space. For that instance, I'm also going to give a 2 for use of space, just because I think they're using way too much of the space. Sometimes you gotta have empty space, or at least a little less dense space. But what I see is like dense and more dense. There's very little areas that are just kind of free breathing. Everything just seems kind of a bit claustrophobic. Which I think there needs to be a little bit more breathing room sometimes. All right. So that finishes Pax Seco. And my guild officer has raided our Losty Cakes. And so that should be everyone. And now we can go and look at the total scores of everyone. Let me sort. All right. So we have let's just go I have my scores. Let me collect my guild officer scores and then do the math real quick. So give us a moment to basically what's the word? Do some math real quick. And give us one moment. If I could, there we go. All right, so we are going to combine our scores real quick and then see how everyone goes. All right. We are in the process of adding them up. Give us uno momento. Jeez, I can't believe I've been streaming for 3 hours. I kind of have to add them up manually because I wasn't adding my guild officers at the same time, but that's okay. A little bit of dramatic patience never hurt anybody. Okay. So we have, ta-da. And then we have this user. Where are they? Boom. All right. All right. And boom. Okay. Got a number there. Where are they on here? Boom. Okay. Yes. Congratulations to everyone. We are all winning anyways. Thank you for everyone for showing up. Very nice. The drama is building. We're almost finished. There are almost no rests used. We're still going through. Okay. Whose homestead was this? Okay, so that's one, 2, and then 3, and then 4. Give another. All right. And then we have this person's homestead, and that score was... Okay. Okay. And then we got their score, which is, where are they on the list? Boom. Yeah, we are going to have some tiebreakers, unfortunately, that we need to do. But worry not. You are all going to like how we set this up. Don't worry. Almost done. With the preliminary ones anyways. And then, okay, we got theirs. 14 there. Wait, who was that? Okay. Okay, and then we are on this person's, and we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Boom. It's interesting to see how me and my guild officer have different scores for some of these homesteads. Okay. 6 here. Let's see what everyone's saying in the chat. What channel is everyone on? Yes, we are on channel 2 in Tier Kano. Wow, look at everybody who's showing up. I'm so honored. We're almost finished, I promise. Just have to kind of do a little bit of work in the background because of a minor discrepancy. Just got to do a little bit of manual work with the other... Oh, are we in 6? Oops, I lied. I'm lost. I don't know why I'm in channel 6. I'm usually in channel 2. I guess I had to change channels to go in one of the homesteads. Yes, we are in channel 6. Apologies for that. Okay. Got a 12 here. Boom. And then the next one. Okay. We are here. All right. And now we are on this person's homestead, which, boom. Cool, cool. Almost done. All right. And what did they give them? 10. Okay. Adding all the numbers first just adds to the suspense. Of course. Of course. What actually happened was that my guild officer had a minor issue. It definitely was maybe me. I'm gonna blame them. Blame them. No, I'm just kidding. As I was doing this, I didn't realize I was not annotating my guild officer's scores at the same time. We kept a log, but I didn't write like who was who, so I gotta like go back in the video and check who was for his scores. Anyways, for my scores, I have them all annotated. Okay, we're almost done. Don't worry, it's like a couple more. Okay, so a 12 for this person's. Perfect. And then, next person is a 14. And if everybody wants, if you want to line up for a screenshot, we can take some screenshots to post in the Mabby Discord under militia events for proof that we were all here and we did the thing. Optional, but if that is something you're all interested in. Okay, is this the last person? Let me see. Okay, I think that is the last person. And my guild officer gave them... cool. All right. Yeah, let's do the picture first before we announce the winners. Everybody get in place. I'll take a couple. Let me put my golf club away. There we go. Yeah, let me put the Stardust away. And then I'll post this in the Mabby Discord under militia events, along with the winners. I'll take a couple screenshots of this. Let me go ahead and mute my HUD. Perfect. Gotta wait for the right moment. Take a couple of these. I need to get one when T-Frog jumps. Ah, dang, I missed it. One more. Let's see if I can get it perfect. There we go. All right. Got a few good ones. Very nice. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So we got all the scores in, which is nice. Let me just average these two, or add them up, I mean. This number plus this number. Shout out to Excel. Very good. All right, and now we will see the true total, what's it called? Actually, this one is 11 plus 14. Okay, and then let's format this as a table, sure. Or just sort by... All right. Oh wait, you know what? That's actually a really good screenshot too. Boom. Take that one. All right. So we have the total scores. We do have a couple tiebreakers. 1 second. Let me discuss these with my guild officer. Okay, so the top 2 spots for this is pre-tiebreaker, so just letting you guys know. The top 2 spots for our number 1 position. Actually, let's go reverse. Let's not announce the number 1. Let's go reverse. Sorry, I gotta hype this up. Mind you, this is all my first competition, okay? Have some patience, please. Pretty please. Okay. So, that's number 1. Those are for number 2. I don't think we actually have a tiebreaker for 3rd place. So, 3rd place goes to... Can I get a drum roll? Wait, what happened to my audio? Options, sound effects. There we go. Yep, there's the drum roll. 3rd place goes to Jumbo Shrimp. Ta-da! Congratulations, Jumbo Shrimp. You have my applause. Your homestead was very creative, very visual treat. Loved the walls, loved the exterior. It was awesome. Very good job. One of my favorites for sure. Okay. Now, our tie for second place is between two people, luckily, and they are Ogre and Medusa for second place. So, congratulations. Very good job on second place. We love to see it. We love to see it. So just a reminder as I refer to my flyer, which hopefully everybody looked at. If you didn't already know, actually it's not even on our flyer, but it is on our form. If you didn't already know, first place is a reward for 10 mil, second place is a reward for 8 mil, and third place is a reward for 6 mil. So Jumbo will be getting 6 mil, and I will elaborate what I will be doing for the tiebreakers. So hold your horses. The tie for first place, we actually have a tie for first place this time, which was to my shock. This is just how good all of our competitors are. We couldn't even agree between me and my guild officer after gave two different scores. Our first place tie is Bunny Kitty and Seraphim. So congratulations. You have my applause. Beautiful homesteads. Very good. And congratulations. But really, I want to congratulate everybody who participated. I know it's not super, easy to make a nice homestead. Everybody was a very good sport. And even though we have a first, second, and third place, I hope everybody feels rewarded. So let me do some quick math. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 participants. Okay. 10, 8 plus 6. All right. But let's go to party. Yeah, we got to go to like Ogre's homestead and have a party there or something. Or maybe Bunny Kitty or Seraphim, because they were the top two winners. But let's talk about the rewards. So I know I said everybody gets, so first place is 10 mil, second place is 8 mil, and third place is 6 mil, but we have two tiebreakers that we got to break. And everyone else gets 500K. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. However, due to the quality of all of the homesteads today, I will be doubling all of the rewards. So if you were originally supposed to get 500K, you'll be getting 1 mil. If you were getting 10 mil for first place, you are now getting 20 mil. And if you are a tiebreaker, you are getting rewards, both of you. So there will be no tie breaking. I did a little trolling, I know. No bad news. If you were one of the ties for Bunny Kitty or Seraphine for second place, you are getting rewards doubled, and both of you are getting rewards. I want to shout out to, we had 2 people, I'm going to keep them anonymous, but 2 people did donate to the event, which helped out to me to be able to double everyone's rewards. All of this came out of my pocket, not literally, but in game. But I also wanted to, give everyone a higher reward than they originally expected. I think it's a little nice thing to do, and it helped that I had 2 people donate some gold to help fund this. But congratulations to everyone. It was awesome looking at everybody's homesteads. Me and Alex and Lene had a lot of fun looking at them, and I hope that you enjoyed looking at them too. It's not very often I feel like we have homestead events. I've never participated in one myself. But if you like this type of thing, look out. You're all in our Discord. But feel free to, invite more of your friends. We're going to be doing more competitions in the future. This is just our very first one. Hopefully in the future, our grading is a little bit more streamlined. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was really my fault. The grading took so long. But I'm making it up. Everybody's getting double rewards, Everyone's getting double rewards. We will be mailing a check to everyone. So check out your mailboxes. I don't know what the limit is for checks, so they might not all come from me. They may come from either me or Alex or Lene. I think I should be able to mail everyone. Check costs too much to mail, by the way. Oh, yeah, you might be right. In that case, if the check is too much to mail, because I haven't mailed checks in a while, then I will trade you a check. Or I will mail you multiple checks. But regardless, I'll be handing out the rewards shortly after the stream. Just got to go to the money store and pull out some bread. But thanks to everyone who participated. We're going to be having more of these events in the future. I'm hoping to have a cosplay event and a fashion contest event. Some games. So look out for that. If you guys have any recommendations, feel free to hang out in the Discord. Post what you'd like to see in the future. And really thank you for participating. I am going to shout out the winners in the Mabinogi Discord along with the screenshots. If you are watching this after the fact and you weren't able to log in, or maybe not even watch us, at once, congratulations still. And be on the lookout for your check or our trade deal, however I want to do it. But yeah, that ends today's stream. I know it was long. It was a lot longer than me and Alex were expecting. I was hoping this to be short. I literally have not eaten all day. So I'll be getting some food after this, but not before I give you guys all of your rewards. Yeah, I'm a yapper. That's what I do. Alex is a yapper too. He's capping right now. But yeah, thank you everyone for participating. And have a good day or night, wherever you are. Feel free to join the guild. Feel free to stay in the guild Discord or leave. Totally up to you. And yeah, have a great day. And stick around after if you are a participant, because I'll be getting my checks pulled out and making sure everybody gets one. Other than that, have a good night, and thank you for watching.